I'm Lamitschka, and today I present you Deborah. Deborah, country music has many new fans in New York who may be hearing about you for the first time. How would you describe yourself and the music you are playing to someone who's never seen or heard you before?
I would describe my music as, first of all, original, because I'm a songwriter and I write almost every song that I sing. And I would also say that it's very soulful and heartfelt because, you know, I live here in Nashville. I love Nashville, but I grew up in Memphis, which is the home of the blues, the king of rock and roll. And I just got that in my blood, and I can't get it loose.
So how was the last year for you? What were the highlights?
What were the highlights of last year? Well, actually, there were so many highlights. Last year I spent a lot of time mentoring young children who live in Mississippi. I call it one-on-one with Deborah. And actually we're ending that year with a concert April 25th in Jacksonville, actually Clinton. It's just been incredible to, after, you know, I have been in this for a while, and early on I was lucky enough to have Shel Silverstein mentor me and just show me some encouragement. So it feels so good to give that back. And over the past year, just my once-a-month hour that I spend with each other has been so amazing, the growth that I've seen, not to mention the incredible friendships that I've made. I've also enjoyed, just finished shooting, what kind of ties in with that? A segment of a show called Give a Living Rose, a television show. And I thought that I was going to be thanking the kids for what all they gave to me, for allowing me into their life. But they kind of turned the tables on me, and the show is them thanking me for what I give to them. So it was really sweet. It's called Give a Living Rose, and you can go to www.givealivingrose.com and find out more about that. It's an incredible thing. You know, how many times do we want to thank someone and then kind of put it off a bit? This is a great way for you to be able to thank people today. Don't wait. Which brings me to another subject. I gave you this card.
Yep.
This card has on it a website, and it's called www.lasttimeforeverything.
Okay.
And it kind of, this is the first interview I've done for today at CRS, and I'm just realizing how well it ties in with Give a Living Rose, because I said don't put off thanking people and telling them that you love them. But my song is called There's a Last Time for Everything, and you can go to lasttimeforeverything.com, listen to it, and leave your comment there about how you feel about it. But it just talks about in the song about how, you know, each day is so precious, and we really never know what's going to happen when you and I say goodbye.
That's right.
So as long as there's blue sky above you, take the time to say I love you, because there's a last time for everything.
That's right. So that brings me to the next question. What's the difference between your last CD and the current one?
Which was the last one that you had? Do you remember?
No.
You don't? Well, you know, since I had my own record label, it's called Southbound Sound Records, I really don't even know which one was my last one, either, because whenever I do music, I just put together collections. I've had a collection called the Memphis Princess Collection, which is incredible because it goes back to my roots, and I wrote a lot of the songs with my good friend Teenie Hodges, who wrote Love and Happiness, Take Me to the Moon. So it's very Memphis oriented. I also have another CD called Hands On, which I really love, because it has one of my other favorite songs on it called Deeper Waters.
So, what will your next single be?
Hopefully there's a last time for everything, and actually you and all your listeners and viewers can be responsible for that if you go to that website, lasttimeforeverything.com, and do leave a heartfelt comment if it touches you in any way. You know, it inspires me just to hear, you know, a lot of times artists and writers, we get kind of, we don't get to really have that connection, but thank goodness for Facebook, MySpace, and all those things, and the web. Suddenly now it brings us so much closer to the people who are actually listening to our music, and it's inspiring, and it's gratifying. It makes you feel good to know that, okay, maybe you're not on #1 on the charts in some big, huge major label, but you still have an avenue for reaching people, touching people, and hopefully changing lives.
So, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference between traditional and new country music?
Traditional and new country music. Well, for me, traditional, since I've been here for a while, has a little bit purer meaning, you know. I mean, I love traditional country music. Even my friend Teeny Hodges in Memphis, who I consider to be a blues R&B writer, he says, I write country music. You know, he thinks he writes country music, but basically it's because it's about the story. So to me, traditional country music is about the story and it's about the instrumentation. Contemporary country music, I think there's a lot of great country music out there right now that crosses many boundaries, but I think the commonality of it all is the fact that they tell great songs and great stories. So no matter what you surround it with, what kind of instrumentation, as long as you have a great story and a great song that comes from the heart, to me, that's the most huge tribute to traditional country music. It runs through the veins of all.
So, are you doing anything to take country music beyond its current borders, or are you happy where it is?
Oh, well, I'm never happy standing still. And to me, one of, life is always changing, the world is always changing. And like I said, thank goodness for the web, because you're able to reach a lot of boundaries. I mean, I've come to your beautiful country in the past and loved it, and would love the opportunity to come back and see you and all of your viewers. Just reaching out to people through the internet. And instead of being afraid of the internet, I think if more people embraced it and learned how to use it, then actually we would get to enjoy more music instead of a small, tiny 20 that gets through the eye of the needle. You know, and that's good too. It has its place too, but you miss a lot of great songs that way.
Well, what inspired you to become an artist?
Oh, well, that goes back to before I was born. My mother, her name is Rosetta, when she was carrying me, she started noticing that she had a throat, like something in her throat, and her voice, she would be talking and she would kind of go like that. And years later, it has a name, it's called spasmodic insomnia. She was getting the early signs of the symptoms of that. So when she was carrying me, she said a prayer that I would not only be healthy, but have a strong voice. And then when I was born, she saw my name kind of like a rainbow over my head, with all these little lights flickering around it. She said, kind of like out in Las Vegas. And then when I was like about 3 or 4 years old, I scooted over to her in the car and told her that I would like to be a singer for an actress. And did she think I could do it? And she said her heart started pounding. And of course she encouraged me that I could do it. But it was affirmation for her that her prayer had been answered. And I really believe that prayer has helped me through my career. This business, as you know, you have to love it to stay in it. It's a roller coaster ride, and most people's lives are. This looks like a glamorous life, and a lot of it is. So that's part of the allure. But you couldn't stay in it just for that. You have to have that deep love for the music to go forth. And like I said, I think that prayer sort of predestined my life and gave me the strength to ride the roller coaster.
So, what has been your greatest challenge in the music business?
The greatest challenge for me in the music business has been finding outlets for my music beyond being on the major label. The first thing you have to come to grips with when you're not on a major label is that you are still a viable artist, you're still a viable person, and that you just don't have the big machine behind you. Just like I used to tell people, when you first get your record deal at a big label, you think, good, I'm on RCA, or good, I'm on Capitol. Well, being on a record label is a lot more than just saying you're on the label. It's comprised of people. So those people make up teams who believe in you. So to me, it's been maintaining my belief and moving forward without that big engine around me. But again, like I said, I have the biggest engine of all, and that's that prayer that connects me to God, my source, my creator. And so even at times when even I sometimes get a little weak and discouraged, encouraged, I plug back into that, and I know that all things are possible with God.
Okay. So what moments in your career stand out in your memories as highlights and achievements which you are proud of?
Well, of course, Baby I Lied, because without Baby I Lied, I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
And, the writing of that was so much fun, and then the way it all came together had its mystery and magic too, and I'm hoping that the same kind of mystery and magic will occur with this new song, Last Time for Everything, because it means that much to me. So I would say Baby I Lied. All the things that went with it, being on American Bandstand with Dick Clark, being on Solid Gold with Madonna, and all of that was just like unbelievable. Really fun. But now beyond that, to me the most fun thing and the biggest achievement is the friends that I've made through my music.
Okay.
I wouldn't take anything for that. They mean more to me really than any of the awards that I have hanging on my wall. I mean, I've given some of my awards away to the Country Music Hall of Fame because I thought it would be safekeeping there, but I wouldn't give one friend away. Keep them right here.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.